Hello everyone. I welcome you all to our channel, Dr. PK Sen Medical Forum, GMC Gondia. Today, we will be discussing 5 MCQs from the subject of pathology. So let us begin. Question number 1. Irreversible cell injury due to ischemia will result into A. Increase in serum creatinine phosphokinase MB. Option B. Increase in transaminases. Option C. Increase in pancreatic amylase. Or option D. All of the above. So the answer to this question is option D. All of the above. Now, the reason behind this is that in irreversible cell injury, there is a loss of membrane integrity. This allows the intracellular enzymes to leak out, which can then be measured in the blood. Detection of these proteins in the circulation serves as the clinical marker of cell death and organ injury. Clinically important examples are myocardial injury, in which there are raised levels of troponin, CPKMB, and lactate dehydrogenase. In hepatitis, we have an increased level of transaminases. In pancreatitis, an increased level of amylase and lipase is seen. In biliary tract obstruction, alkaline phosphatase levels are raised. So now we move on to the next question. All are examples of apoptosis except option A. Fetal syndactyly prevention. Option B. Hormone dependent endometrial changes. Option C. Dystrophic calcification. And option D. Graft versus host disease. So the correct answer to this question is option C, dystrophic calcification. Now let us have a look at each of these examples one by one. First, fetal syndactyly prevention. If the cells in the interdigital space fail to undergo apoptosis, the fetus will be born with webbed hands and or webbed feet, a condition which is known as syndactyly. Another example is option B. Hormone-dependent apoptosis prior to menstruation. Programmed cell death plays an important role in endometrial gland morphological changes. Option C is dystrophic calcification. Necrotic tissue within our body evokes an inflammatory response that removes the dead tissue and is followed by healing and tissue repair. Necrotic debris may also undergo dystrophic calcification. Now option D is graft versus host disease. Graft versus host disease is an example of apoptosis which occurs in allelogenic hematopoietic stem cell transplant recipients. The transplant marrow has cytotoxic T cells which recognize the new host proteins as foreign. Organs typically involved include the skin, mucosa, liver, and GI tract. The histological hallmark of graft versus host disease is apoptosis. So let us move on to question number 3. All the given statements about leukocyte adhesion deficiency type 1 are true except option A, it is an autosomal dominant disease. Option B, there is deficiency of beta 2 integrin subunit or CD18. Option C, there are recurrent bacterial infections. Option D, there is a delayed umbilical cord sloughing. The correct answer to this question is option A, autosomal dominant. This is because this statement is false and actually this disease is an autosomal recessive disorder. Now please kindly pause the video and have a look at the beautiful diagram which shows the adhesion and migration of leukocytes and brush up your facts. Also, go through the table which shows the distribution of selectin and integrins in the endothelium and leukocytes. With this, we have now reached our first image-based question. Question number 4 is, choose the incorrect option about the condition related to the given histopathology. Now, I will read out to you the options. Option A. Schistosomiasis or beryllium can be etiological agents. Option B. It is characterized by modified macrophages. Option C. CD4 plus Th1 lymphocytes are more commonly seen. Option D. Infliximab can be administered directly in cases of latent TB. The answer for this question is Option D. Infliximab can be administered directly in cases of latent TB. Given histopath is of a chronic granulomatous inflammation. Chronic granulomatous inflammation is a specialized form of chronic inflammation characterized by small aggregates of modified macrophages like epithelioid cells and multinucleated giant cells, usually populated by CD4 plus Th1 lymphocytes. Composition of a granuloma is visible on your screens in the form of a well-labeled diagram. Now we move on to etiologies. Granulomatous diseases include tuberculosis, cat scratch fever, syphilis, leprosy, fungal infections like coccidioidomycosis, parasitic infections like schistosomiasis, foreign bodies, beryllium, and sarcoidosis. Also visible on your screen is the pathophysiology of granuloma formation in the form of a diagram. As you can see, TNF or tumor necrosis factor plays an important role in granuloma formation. Infliximab is a monoclonal antibody against TNF-alpha, and it reduces the immunity of the host and increases the chances of conversion of latent TB to active TB. Therefore, infliximab should not be administered directly in cases of latent TB. Now we move on to the last question of the day, and it is another image-based question. Choose the incorrect option about the given clinical condition. Option A. Genetic predisposition is more common in Afro-Americans. Option B. It may also affect neck, sternum and forearms. Option C. There is excess production of collagen, predominantly type 2 collagen. And option D. It is a type of abrasion in wound healing. So, the answer to this question is option C. There is an excess production of collagen, predominantly type 2 collagen. This is wrong because usually type 3 collagen is more predominant. Diagnosis of this disease is keloid formation over posterior surface of auricle, a type of abrasion in wound healing. Abrasions in wound healing include delayed wound healing, hypertrophic scar, and keloid formation. Keloid formation is a genetic predisposition that is common in African Americans. It tends to affect the earlobes, face, neck, sternum, and forearms. It may produce large tumor-like scars extending beyond the injury site. There is excess production of collagen that is predominantly type 3 collagen. For the details of other aberrations in wound healing, you can pause the video and gain that knowledge also. With this, we come to the end of our video. Thank you for watching. If you have any queries, kindly write them in the comment section below and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.